So let's talk about event dispatchers and the best way to use them. Event dispatchers is basically a way to signal from one event to another event and basically trigger multiple events by just triggering one. So if I'm in my character, let's say I want to attach one event from my character to an event in my game mode, and when that event triggers in the game mode, I want event on my character to trigger. So I'm gonna create an event dispatcher on my game mode. Let's call it event dispatcher, and I'm gonna do begin play and delay of 2 seconds. So after 2 seconds, I want to call my event dispatch. So basically what's happening is this event begin play is gonna have a delay, and after that delay, we are basically calling this event, but this event right now doesn't do anything. It will basically go into the void because nobody is listening to the signal. So let's go to the character, and on begin play, what I'm going to do is get game mode, cast to third person game mode so we can get the access to that event. So I'm gonna go to event dispatcher. So basically we have some options, so we can assign, meaning we are gonna create custom event and assign it to or attach it to that event, or we can bind it, which then we'll have to by ourselves create an event, and then you can also unbind if you want. So let's click bind event. We can see now we're gonna have to create custom event, and this custom event will be created automatically if you selected assign basically. So let's do custom event. We're just gonna print something. Let's connect it here. And if you're confused why we have this here, is that basically says that this event is connected to here. So it's kind of like a variable for this binding that we are doing. So this is kind of a function that's saying this event bind it to some other event, which is event dispatcher, which is basically this event. So they're kind of connected. So let's do print, and let's connect it in here. So now if everything worked correctly, oops, something not working. Oh, I forgot to save it in here. Okay, let's now compile, save, and let's connect it here. And now we have basically a print that should trigger after 2 seconds when we play. So let's test it out. Let's click play. And after 2 seconds, we get hello at the top left corner. So this is working. Now, what is the use for this? So the biggest use that you can get out of this kind of system is that basically you have a signal that is sent from somewhere, and multiple other blueprints need to kind of listen to it and trigger when the signal is sent. What basically you want is, let's say we have a signal sender, so let's say it's game mode, and let's say when the score is changing, so we can say score is changing, we want this event to trigger on multiple things, but we don't really know what needs to trigger. So we don't have like a set list of things that we want to get this signal. So then what we can do is, let's say we have an user interface. This user interface can get the reference to our game mode. So let's do game mode here. Can get the reference to the game mode, get the reference to this event that is triggered when the score is changed, and connect to it. Then maybe let's say a character blueprint also wants to get access to the score, or gets notified when the event is triggered, and maybe you have something else also connected. So what's gonna happen is score is gonna be changed, this event is gonna be triggered, and this is gonna flow, and everyone is gonna be activating. One thing to note is that this event and its performance is scaled linearly. So if you have only one thing connected and activating, and the performance of that is, let's say 1, if we have 3 things, it's gonna be 3 times more expensive. You have to keep in mind, if you now connect 50 things and all of these things are signal at the same time, it's gonna be 50 times more expensive than just one thing. So you don't want to scale it too much or have too many things or rely too much on this event dispatch system. Also, one thing that I am not the biggest fan of, and why I don't use it too much, what I'm not a fan of is that you have to get a direct reference to the object. So since we know that this is in the BP third person game mode, if I wanted to get it through here, event this, we cannot get that event because we have to get a specific class. And when you're getting a specific class, you can already get some information from it. But nevertheless, for things that are just needing to update, but you don't know specifically what things you want to update, this event dispatcher can be a good solution where any other object, so my game mode has no reference to the character. He doesn't know that somebody is going to touch or not attach to it, so he doesn't care. He just calls that event whenever something happens. So that's a good thing where you can have a bunch of other blueprints that are just kind of sending or attaching themselves to receive the signal from the game mode in this case. Yes, so that's event dispatchers.